Welcome back to Digi Bros. We're playing Bloop Doop, and we're going into the nightmares.
Oh man, what
Shit's
is
getting
that?
real.
Is
Oh,
this
it's a room with all these dudes with things on their
Whoa,
heads.
hold on, check this place out. This place is fucking rad.
Yeah.
Wait, who's this guy? Isn't this a boss? Is
Well,
he gonna run
he's
away?
dead right now. No.
Is it the same guy as the boss? Or
I don't know
is
if
it
it's
just
the
a
same
different
guy. It could just be a different guy. But
Oh,
these
man.
are... It's like this order of people that started wearing these fucking baskets on their head that like make them like closer to the gods or some shit. Ridiculous explanations
is
of
like a
insane
kid.
fucking people. But now we're going into the nightmare.
I think that's one of the things I love in the Souls games is where
like
they'll
should
have
go
a
there.
room where there's just a lot of dead guys.
Yeah.
That's
I could
a-
breeze through this area, but I'm gonna like show it off because it's cool.
I think there's a
I'll
lot
go
of
back first.
room full of corpses areas in because like in Demon Souls there was like where you found the one kid they're surrounded by all the
Yes.
dead kids or whatever.
They love
on top
having
of
a
that
room
tower.
full of corpses.
But it's cool because there's always like a
Yeah.
cool reason, you know, because you can kind of imagine like a cult was there and they all like committed mass
Yeah.
suicide or they all died doing something, you know,
Doing something stupid.
Yeah.
All right.
It's
What
just
is it you
I don't know.
desire?
There's something fascinating about mass death,
Uh-huh.
like when it's just like because like the scariest shit in our society is like the massive like death, like when there's a genocide and it's just like
Yeah.
people literally just murdering people in the streets and shit, you know.
Mhm.
I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Hotel Rwanda about the Rwandan genocide,
Rwanda.
where like people are just like running through the streets with machetes, fucking murdering people, you know, and then there's just like bodies everywhere at some point because everyone's just fucking dying. And it's like when I think like apocalyptic war scenario, like, you know, there's just bodies everywhere, and like this game like communicates that well, especially one of the first or I guess second DLC area when there's just like the streets that are run red with corpses. That's one of my favorite places in
Yeah.
this game because it's just like, oh my god,
It's really fun.
everyone's dead and they're all here.
And it's also part of this nightmare world, so it's not necessarily like a real place, but certainly
It's
interesting.
debatable if anywhere's a real place because everything's in the hunter's
Yes,
dream.
everything's some
and
sort of
everything.
dream, nightmare, whatever the
What are all
fuck.
these fucking bodies hanging from the ceiling and shit? Like, how many people are dead in this game? Like, and who put them there and why?
What was this society like back before everything was fucked, you know? How did it function? It was certainly very populated.
It's fucked up shit, man. This whole game is fucked up as hell.
Yes.
But it manages to be so, like, artful about it.
Yeah.
And again, that's what I like, what I love about the, you know, I think Hidetaka Miyazaki's whole, like, philosophy of, like, everything should have a nobility to it, you know?
Definitely.
I like nothing in spite of how incredibly fucked up everything in this game is, none of it is ever gross. Or I mean some of it is like
Gruesome.
some of it's gross, but like it's never like shock value in your face shit so much as like you walk into an area and you're just like, oh my god, this has happened here.
There's just
Look at
kind
this.
of corpses everywhere.
There's a lot of hanging bodies.
Doesn't zoom in on one. It's just
right.
a thing that's
It's
going
never
on.
like, whoa, look at this. Ooh, that guy's eyes popped out of his face, you know? Which is why I've never been into, like, horror movies, because they're all about, like, shoving it in your face. Like, you know, get the camera real close to someone's neck and have a blade go through it, you know, which is something that also Game of Thrones started doing in the later episodes, which is why it bothers me so much.
Yes.
It's just trying to, like, shove
snap.
violence in your face, whereas this is just, like, you walk into a world of
What is this?
fucked up things that have happened.
A spooky carriage. Dun, 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 dun. It's going to take us to the new Quentin Tarantino film.
Why? Is there a carriage like that in Hateful Eight?
Yes.
Vader just saw Hateful Eight today. I
Yeah.
haven't seen it yet though, so we're not really.
It's
gonna
alright, go
discuss
see it.
What was your? Do you have a
Dun, spooky
favorite film of
carriage.
2015, Vic? Would you say?
Oh.
'Cause that film came out at the end of 2015.
Shit. That's tough. I'd have to think about all the films I saw because I didn't see a lot of movies in theaters.
Oh, you saw a lot more than I did, like
Yeah.
way more. The fact that you're able to say that
'cause
phrase.
Me and Hope go see a lot.
All I saw was Chappie, The Force Awakens, The Martian, and Mad Max Fury Road, and I think that's basically it. Which The Martian and Mad Max were both fucking awesome. So.
Yeah. I also saw Jurassic World. That was fun.
I did not see that.
I feel like I had a lot of fun with Jurassic World.
A lot of people did.
I'm trying to think of like
Did you
which
see
one
Krampus?
did I enjoy? Yeah, Krampus was pretty good. That was fun. Kind of falls apart at the end, but otherwise
Really?
it's pretty
You
good.
think so?
Yeah, completely. It's one of those where it's like all of a sudden the characters start dying off real fast to wrap it up, and you're like, okay, why did you kind of just ended it?
I don't know. The guys on Half in the Bag called it a perfect movie.
I would not say it's a perfect movie.
Max Stacklasa,
I would say it's a pretty good movie.
Yeah, what's his name? Mike Stacklasa called it a perfect movie.
Now, you see I was drawn here on a carriage. The horses are dead. The carriage is frozen. The bridge is destroyed. How the fuck did I get here?
This
Dude, this magic
This place
castle.
is fucking rad.
This is my
I never
one of
saw
my
the
favorite
outside
levels.
of this place.
Yeah, it's a fucking badass castle.
Yeah, this place is rad as fuck.
Love this
I don't
place.
even think... Is this place completely optional?
Yes.
Because I don't think they
And
came
that
here on the Grumps
slowly
playthrough at
opens.
all.
I did wonder if they would go here, like, but it's one of my favorite places.
I wouldn't be surprised if they don't know
Fucking
about
cool it is,
it.
man.
Whoa!
Fuck yeah.
This reminds me of the ice place from Tera, when you see that giant black castle that's like the
It's
dungeon.
kind of the equivalent of the Painted World, but I think it pulls it off even better than that did. Fucking rad.
This reminds me, actually, you know...
Wait for these fucking monsters to come up the cliffside. Okay, you're just chilling, you're walking through, then all of a sudden, what the fuck are those?
oh my god, they're coming from everywhere.
Oh, what the fuck are those?
Oh,
Oh god. That's a freaky beast with a
they
human face
definitely
and a
made
giant
that
tummy.
a pretty fucking cool shot that you would see all those things crawling up the side and
Yeah.
just be like, ah. Oh
These things
yeah,
are
I've
tough
seen
as fuck
these
too.
fuckers.
I hate these fucking things. They're in the DLC as well.
Yeah, that's where I've seen them on Grumps playthrough. They're
Yeah,
fucking
that's
dope.
why I waited a while before coming here because it can be pretty fucking tough.
This place is fucking rad looking though. Yeah, I was just reminded because you know I've had Tera on my list of favorite games for a long time, but it's a hard game to like just revisit because you know what's fun about Tera is sort of getting into it, getting lost in its world. You know,
Yeah.
doing the whole grind,
Playing
through
it
the
for
whole
200
game.
hours.
right? And like when I played through it up to 60, then I like. I was like, this is like my favorite game ever, you know. But then like looking back on it, I have to like reassess why. Like, does it still belong in my favorite games?
Yeah.
And I was just reminded that like
Jesus.
one of the moments that like really sold me on the game, because what I love about Terra's world is that everything's huge. Like everything is ridiculously big. There's always these huge towering cities, these giant castles and everything. But what was really cool about it is how far you can see them from. Because there's... The second major city is like this huge towering city. And then there's also this huge towering dungeon that's in like 2 countries over. And you can see both of them from one another. You can see the
Yeah.
castle in the distance and you can see the city in the distance. And like from anywhere in that country, you could... Or that continent or whatever, you can see those two over there. And like I remember having a lot of fun just running like in a straight line from the city to the castle and like watching it grow larger and become something I'm standing in front of as I approached it, you know, and just being like, wow, I did that, you know. I spent a lot more time dicking around in Tera than I did like, you know, I think most people play MMOs and they just kind of like run dungeons a lot and they like, for them, it's all about the grind, getting the gear, getting to the raids, getting the gear, you know, like they
just exploded into like blood.
Yeah, what the fuck? You know, most people, they rush to level cap and then they spend a lot of time at level cap. For me, it was all about just exploring the world and like seeing every aspect of it. And I spent a lot of time running on cliffs, Which, if you watch my Sword Art
Oh
Online
God,
video,
the door just slowly creeped open on its own.
like the last time I really played Tera was in when I played it for that Sword Art Online video, and it's just an hour of me like running around, and a significant portion of it, and you can't really make it out that well because I recorded it in. This is beautiful.
It's my favorite.
What the fuck is
place.
that? Is that a
It's
dude?
scrubbing the floors.
Do you have to kill that?
It's just sad and it's scrubbing the floors. I wonder why.
It seems to have lost its mind.
Just
Whatever.
keep walking around. There's a few of them.
Oh God.
What are they doing?
This is fucked up.
What are they
If you pick up that thing, are they all gonna attack you?
No.
Oh shit! But that will.
There's ghosts
fuck!
everywhere with knives.
Suddenly, Crimson Peak.
I was waiting for one to
Okay.
come out. Yup, the Crimson Peak monsters are just start showing up everywhere. Except this game does it much better than Crimson Peak did.
Well, I haven't seen that movie yet.
It sucks.
Everyone, like you, keep saying that, and a lot of people have said that they think it was just okay. But then I've had other people.
It's
tell
one of
me
those
that
where I
I'd
thought it
love
was okay when I walked out, and then the more I thought about it, the more I went, you know what? It's not all right that this is okay. Like, it wasn't good.
I gotta see it for myself and make up my own mind.
Yeah.
I don't
know why you would. I don't think you would like it. I don't know why you would ever watch it.
Well, I mean, I generally like Guillermo del Toro, and a lot of people. There are people who really like that movie who said that they think it's like a masterpiece and shit. So,
Really?
Yeah, there's like of people who love that movie, and I follow Del Toro on Twitter, so I feel like I kind of like am in a stage of following him where I should see his movies, you know.
Yeah.
And of course, it's possible that I only have seen people call it a masterpiece because he retweets those people, and he retweets like good reviews of his movies and shit like that. So
I think the characters are shitty. The movie isn't enough, and it's just like
Well, either way, I'll probably watch it at some point.
Look at these fucking ghosts, though. Rad.
What was I talking about before you distracted me with Crimson Peak?
I don't fucking know.
Saying something about some shit. God damn it. Tera. Yeah. Yeah. The Sword Art Online video. I'm just jumping up a cliff. And the reason I was doing that is that there's this giant sky whale in Tera. And you can read about like my chronicles of meeting it, and I wrote about this on my blog. Like the most popular posts on my blog before I started making videos were my Tera posts, where I wrote a leveling guide of how to get to level 60 without partying with anybody, a solo leveling guide, and then I also wrote about chasing down the sky whale, because there's this huge whale that like flies around, and you can see it from like a lot of areas. Like there's like 3 or 4 different countries where you can see it flying over. Yeah. And it makes a round trip, and like I wanted to see how close to it I could get. So like I followed it, and like followed its flight pattern, and figured out that at one spot it like flies right up against these cliffs. And the cliffs are like, most of them you can't climb on, but like I just kind of jumped at the cliff continually, like finding my way up the path of like what you could walk on. And I found the spot that you can most easily like the closest you can get to the sky whale. It's like this one part of the cliff, and I got up there, and like I let it fly right over me. And like, you know, I initially had done this with screen caps, and like I wrote this post on my blog about like chasing down the sky whale, and then in the Sword Art Online video I was reenacting it. Like I jumped up the cliffs and I got right next to it and let it fly past me. And you can see that part in the video. No one understood what I was doing in that video. They were all like, why the fuck are you jumping at a cliff? And the recording quality is ass, because I didn't know how to use how to render open broadcaster files properly. You really have to 2-pass render them for them to not look like shit. But yeah, that's what I was doing in that video. If anyone's ever wondered, like anyone who's watched that video, because I know a lot of people rewatch it, and like, you know, and it's weird how watchable it is, because I made that video to be just, here's footage of me playing a game because I didn't want to edit a whole video that I knew would get taken down by Aniplex. So I just set it to random footage, but the footage like weirdly fits the timing of the story, because like I die at the very end. Like I timed it in such a way that I managed to die at the exact ending of the video. There is sleight of hand, though. There is one edit in there that no one notices because there's a part where I was like in a menu and I just like cut out a section of that and like you don't really notice the jump, but I did cut it so that it would end on me dying because it was within like 30 seconds of the end of the video.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty neat, and I myself have actually sat and watched it in spite of how shitty it looks, and at parts you can't even tell what's happening. But even I have sat through the whole thing, so I know it's like weirdly watchable, and I've been told as much. What are you laughing at?
Because I'm just like I'm so zoned out about you talking about like this video that I'm just like, dude, what?
You're just like
get back to your point. What the fuck are you talking
just like slaughtering ghosts endlessly. It's kind of mindless.
Like, I made this video where I'm doing fucking nothing and it sucks. And it's a cool video.
Well, it's interesting. The Devu had said of it that you know, he had never seen Sword Art Online, and he actually really likes that there's no footage in that video because it allowed him to just imagine it all. Like he just kind of came up with what all of it looked like in his head, and he had
what
fun
was the Tera point you were making? Like way
that was
back
the point
the
that I watched the sky whale, and that made it cool. That's what I like about the game is that there's a sky whale.
There's a sky whale. Okay.
But I was just trying to say how like most of my time in the game was not spent in dungeons. It was spent jumping up cliff sides and like if you read that story of me finding the sky whale, it took me like 2 hours to find that path to get to it. You know, like I spent all this time like tracking its movements and figuring out where I could go to track it down, and I at one point like fall through the world and stuff, and like okay. If you go to my blog, my sword is unbelievably dull. The header of my blog is my character from Tera standing against the sky, right? And it's from a screen cap that I took for that.
That's a fucking gargoyle, man. That is a freaky fucking gargoyle.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up.
That's how a gargoyle's meant to look.
Are you following what I'm saying right now? Header of my website.
Yes.
The header of my site is a picture of my
thing,
Tera character with the sky behind her, right? And that image comes from that post about finding the sky whale. Where that image was taken was that I had jumped up the cliffs at the very edge of the world, and I'd fallen down onto I basically was beyond the edge of the game.
Yes.
And so all that was there was the skybox. I was outside of the world and just in the sky, and I just took a screen cap of my character set against that sky. So that screen cap is actually me having like broken the game and taken a picture of it and like. And it just makes like a cool avatar, you know. But there's more fun story behind it than what might meet the eye.
Ooh.
I love when things I do have cool stories that like no one, you know, like you only find out about when I tell you, you know. There's a lot of shit like that in my world.
Guess you've definitely told me all that shit before, so.
Yeah, probably.
Perhaps on Digi Bros.
Not on Digi Bros.
All right.
Incidentally, next time on Digi Bros,
hey, we'll keep going through this awesome spooky ghost castle.
This place is pretty fucking dope.
Rad.